All right, whoever said the customer is always right clearly has never worked at a gun range. Hey there, Tundra Nation. Welcome back to the channel. Do me a favor, will you? Take a deep breath with me. You smell that? That's the fresh air of spring, which means it's time for you to return to the range and shake off that rust that you laughably call your skills. Of course, that range is going to be filled with some pretty interesting personalities, so sit back, get ready to shout range hot, and let's start the show.
What's going on out here?
Now we start the journey to the firing line with its most interesting denizen, a person that's really, I guess, more felt than seen. It's the brass hog, ladies and gentlemen. Now here's a creature that could have crawled out of Tolkien's trash bin, straight out of it in fact. He's too weird for the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and he's just irritating enough to be a footnote in the Silmarillion. This dude treasures every single piece of spent brass like it's a golden ticket from Smug's own personal stash. Think less noble dragon hoarder here and more Scrooge McDuck with a reloading press. You'd better not try to haggle with him either, because he's got his eBay listings all ready to go and he's convinced that every single casing is a rare collectible destined to fund his retirement. He knows one day his brass is going to be the currency of our land, and Brass Hog right here is aiming to be the next Jeffrey Bezos, one casing at a time, folks. Good for you, buddy. Good for you.
What is this world coming to? Why is there no brass? Someone shoot some brass.
He's the column of the gun range, folks, squatting over his precious piles of brass and hissing if you dare even approach. You kind of almost expect him to start reciting lore about each and every single piece in his collection, tracing all of its origins to the fiery forges of Mordor itself.
I led Isildur into the heart of Mount Doom. Cast it into the fire!
Seriously, buddy, this isn't the extended universe where background characters get a tragic backstory and a cult following. It's a freaking shooting range. And those casings, they're not going to magically craft you into a legend no matter how many of them you stuff into your pockets. One thing that will transform you into a legendary appearance at your local gun range is showing up with a gun from our sponsor, CMMG. Hey, if you want something that will actually run and was made to standards, then you should check out CMMG and their new Mark 47 Descent, available in 16-inch and now 12.5-inch variants. Combined with these zeroed muzzle devices that come as standard, this is truly the next step in innovation for the fans of the 7.62x39 cartridge. If that's not your style, CMMG has something for everybody, from your standard ARs to 22 conversion kits and heck, even the 5.7 Banshee. CMMG has all your needs for quality guns to fit any role. So go click the link in the description below and get yourself an upgrade today. Oh yeah, don't forget to tell them Tundra sent you. Ladies and gentlemen of the Tundra Nation, let's go ahead and talk about the public nuisance, the environmental disaster, the cleanup skipper. This charming individual treats the range like it's their own personal landfill, leaving behind a delightful mess that would make even a raccoon blush and a baby's diaper after Taco Tuesday look neat in comparison. The cleanup skipper has an almost pathological need to make the range as messy as humanly possible and then just walk away like it's not even their problem. I mean, if you ask him to police up their brass, you're suddenly gonna get some kind of lecture about defunding the police. Buddy, what's your game plan here? Waiting for your mom to swoop in with her magical broom and some chicky nuggies?
Yeah, maybe so.
Newsflash! Your mother right now is having her third chakra opened by her yoga instructor, Darren, so nobody is coming to clean this mess up for you today.
Fuck Tennessee, you love Wu-Tang Clan, no love for old squirty bastards.
Skirt brigade.
It's truly impressive how much damage one person can do. The skipper leaves behind more garbage than the entire run of Jersey Shore. Seriously, between the shell casings, the half-eaten sandwiches, and what I pray is just spilt vanilla pudding, we're half expecting to find a lost civilization under the rubble, or at the very least, a small family of bewildered squirrels trying to decipher the mess of the new form of some kind of like avant-garde habitat, I guess. So congratulations, cleanup skipper. You're not just flunking basic decency here, you're pioneering the archaeological trash heaps of tomorrow. Cue the spotlight, Tundra Nation, because strutting on down the range today is none other than the Tactical Peacock, a man who saw the Cry Precision and 511 Tactical Special Edition catalogs and decided to swipe right on everything. Yep, that's that guy. This man is so kitted out, you'd think he was preparing for a one-night raid on Area 51 itself, sporting comfort waist, cargo pants, and night vision goggles that cost more than your regrettable adventures at the Denton County Gentleman's Dive.
I won't leave the strip club until everybody's gone. Like, dancers leave before me.
He's gonna be strapped with even more pouches than a kangaroo sanctuary and enough pick rail segments to lay the track for Snowpiercer. But here's the kicker. When it comes to actually shooting, he's about as effective as a chimpanzee trying to copulate with a football while blindfolded, folks.
What did you steal?
He's got more gear than SEAL Team 6, but he's got the shooting skills of, I don't know, like SEAL Team sucks, I guess. Maybe if he spent as much time on the firing line as he does DMing thirst traps on Instagram, he might actually hit something. Oh, by the way, here's a little public service announcement for Gear Flasher guy. That lady whose DMs you're sliding into, yeah, that's the dude. Did you miss the giant penis?
That's a penis.
It's time to lock and load for the tale of unwanted closeness, Tundra Nation, because here comes the Space Invader, the personal nightmare of anybody who values their elbow room. This fella is the kind of person who thinks the best spot on a wide open empty range is right next to you.
Please go away.
Our friend, to use the term loosely, is so close that you'd be more comfortable riding a tandem bike with a mime in France while wearing a beret, all the while trying to convince American tourists how great socialism is.
They were the suckiest bunch of sucks that ever sucked.
Homer, watch your mouth.
Oh, and here's the kicker. The wafting aroma that's coming off of the Space Invader is so strong, it's cauterizing the protective layer inside of your lungs. As your nose hairs disintegrate under the aromatic assault, you come to the conclusion that the last time the Space Invader wore deodorant, the French were considered the world's preeminent infantry fighting force. Seriously, this guy is so invasive of your personal space, you begin to wonder if he's doing a one-man reproduction of Brokeback Mountain. He's got less understanding of the bubble than a man trying to shake your hand at a urinal. Now, we here at Tundra Tactical love to watch the world burn as much as the next person, but this absolute degen is the worst. When traveling, he purposefully books middle airplane seats so he can make new friends all the way around. Wow, what a dick. Gather round, Tundra Nation, for a tale as old as range time itself. Presenting the Eternal Borrower, the embodiment of chaos in human form. This one is going to be a few McNuggets short of a Happy Meal, folks. A walking, talking public service announcement for the importance of checklists. The specimen arrives at the range, his bag a mystical vortex where only snacks survive, and you'd swear that he's training to become, I don't know, like a sorcerer given his knack for conjuring goods from your stash into his hands. Honestly, at this point, it's a mystery why he even owns a range bag at all or what he actually puts in it when you're not around. I mean, what do you think it is, like trail mix or sandwiches?
So good and tasty.
Maybe it's like hopes and dreams, I don't know. Remember, folks, sharing is caring, but loaning out all your gear just leads to sad pictures on milk cartons saying, have you seen this pair of walkers? Don't let your gear become a cold case on the back of a dairy product, folks. That is just bad form.
Bad form! Sit down now, let's resume the game.
Hey, have you met any of these folks at the range before, or possibly are one of them yourself? You never know. Let's chat about it down in the comments below. And if we made you laugh so far in this video, make sure you smash that thumbs up button to say thanks. Yeah, next up is the visual virtuoso of the range, the YouTube star. Who am I kidding? That's not me. This fella crashes into your peaceful shooting day like TMZ, crashing into a British princess. Wow, a British princess. I wonder what her free healthcare is like. Yeah, she's dead.
That is really insensitive.
Tough shit. He's a sovereign of the selfie stick, a duke of the drones, capturing every conceivable angle, except for the one where his bullets meet their target. Now, this guy's got enough 4K footage to make George Lucas choke, and all of it chronicling the epic saga of near hits so ridiculous, even stormtroopers are shaking their heads in disbelief. His precision is so phenomenally pitiful that you'd swear he's pioneering a new sport and calling it extreme non-contact shooting. I mean, it's kind of like he took his marksmanship cues from like a Dora the Explorer map because, wow, those shots are off on their own adventure, bud. Shooting a rifle that seems to have been zeroed in, I don't know, the upside down, our YouTube star is unfettered because with a little bit of creative editing and some steel hit sound effects, well, he'll be the next darling of YouTube faster than you can say Lucas Botkin. Alrighty, folks, next up we have the self-appointed coach of the gun range. Folks, I would love for you to meet the advice guru. This guy couldn't hit the broadside of a barn if he was standing inside, yet he's always lurking ready to pounce with some guidance that's about as welcome as a mosquito in a nudist colony.
Hey, here you go right here, y'all. He done finally came outside, but we've been waiting on you all day.
If unsolicited advice were an Olympic sport, this guy would be accused of doping harder than a female shot putter on the East German team. If there were an award for most likely to interrupt your shooting to totally give you utterly worthless advice, he would win it hands down every year consecutively until our sun expands into a red giant and swallows the entire Earth. The only target this guy is consistently hitting is your last nerve, and that's because the advice guru's real goal, well, it's to get that unpaid range safety officer job, mainly because it comes with a free polo shirt and a small amount of authority. If unsolicited advice were steroids, this guy would be the Lance Armstrong of the shooting world, missing testicle and all.
The One Testicle Club.
He'll always be a reminder that sometimes silence is not only golden, but preferred, much like his absence at the range. If tragedy strikes and he zeroes in on you, just nod, smile, and remember, ear protection isn't just for gunfire. It's for blocking out all of those helpful tips from the range's most unwanted mentor. Now comes the overcompensator, something that any gun range employee is going to be very, very familiar with. He's the kind of guy who thinks that bigger is always better, and subtlety, well, that is for the weak. Marching onto the range like he's leading a parade, this guy hauls out gear that looks like it spent most of its life as field artillery. What, is he trying to shoot targets or take out a freaking Chinese satellite in orbit? I guess I don't know. This is the guy whose gun is so big that when he shows up, the range has 2 cars with wide load emblazoned on the side to give him an escort. The muzzle brake in his rifle is bigger than most European cars are, and when he fires, you swear you can hear the Earth's magnetic field reverse itself. It's kind of like the 4th of July and Armageddon had a baby, and the shockwave alone resets your heart rhythm and sets off car alarms in the next zip code. Our shooter thinks recoil should be measured not in foot-pounds, but chiropractic adjustments in insurance billing. Every shot comes with a complimentary shoulder dislocation. The overcompensator doesn't just hit the target, he obliterates it. He sends its ancestors to therapy, and it leaves a crater deep enough that they name it after your mom.
Yeah, 5 inches deep in your mom.
The old school shooter is next, the living, breathing relic who thinks that Wi-Fi is some sort of modern birth control technique that he calls whiffery. He's wrong. To him, the idea of any gun range equipped with the internet is about as baffling as Twitter is to a potato chip. Every time he draws his revolver, you're not just witnessing history, you're partaking in a seance to summon the spirit of the Wild West. Behold the pride and joy of a bygone era, he exclaims, brandishing a piece that's seen more action in his stories than it's ever seen in reality. Indeed, behold the replica gun of the gun that won the West, because let's face it, the original was sold after wife number 4 before she could figure out how much it was worth in the divorce. Smart move, by the way. Always lose your guns in a boating accident if you get divorced. The old school shooter walks with a permanent John Wayne swagger, a testament to a lifetime spent outdrawing shadows at a cowboy action shoot. He's a steadfast monument in a world hurtling towards the future, endlessly sermonizing about the days when bullets were cast, not bought, and the only thing polymer was your dentures. As he lambasts the younger generation for their affinity towards firearms that don't double as boat anchors, you can't help but wonder if his disdain for modernity comes from some sort of confusion, or if back in his day concealed carry meant a derringer in your sock garter. This man born in the wrong time is ours to cherish, a living museum where the exhibits occasionally grumble about kids these days and their plastic fantastics pointed right at their hoo-ha.
Every pistol that you put in that carry position is a potential decocker.
Okay, Boomer.
Brace yourselves, folks. That was a gun joke. Coming down the range is the hyper competitor, the guy who believes that life is a competition and that everybody in it is just there to hand him his trophies, I guess. He's decked out in a safety orange golf shirt so loud that you and everybody else can see him straight from space, and he's plastered in more patches than a Boy Scout leader who hasn't been indicted yet. I mean, it's like he's wearing the bumper sticker collection of a vegan Subaru owner, all competitive accolades and zero chill. This guy keeps score like a freaking Vegas bookie. Even when the only thing on the line is his bruised ego, his encyclopedic knowledge of shooting competition rules could just suck the fun out of a night at the Playboy Mansion, and it'll turn a casual day at the range into an experience akin to navigating the seventh circle of bureaucratic hell, also known as registering an out-of-state car at the DMV. He claims to be an alpha, constantly sharpening his edge, which apparently is his excuse for being a world-class Richard to everybody within earshot. Keep grinding that edge, champ, but maybe try sharpening your social skills while you're at it, because right now your shot placement is about as sharp as a marble, and the only thing you're dominating are the eye rolls from everybody else who's just trying to enjoy their day. So next time you want to flex your dominance, maybe save it for that competition that actually exists outside of your head. Not to stay subscribed. Oh, that's a hamstring. Oh, yeah. Who values their elbow room? And if Cushion puts some chicken dance shit over this, I'm gonna be pissed. I don't know what to do yet. Don't put that in there, Cush. Oh. Okay. Tundra out.